You're welcome back. You're still on to Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA. It's now time for newspaper review. Stay with us.
All right, welcome back, and thank you for joining us once again. Chukwudi Abuja is right here in the studio, and time to welcome him. Chukwudi, good morning.
Good morning, Claire. How are you doing?
Come ça.
Bright and early. We're going to make it today, by His grace. Demola, good morning.
Good morning to you.
You look so well behaved today.
Always.
It's not just putting up appearances.
Look at your friend. You're not coming. Come, hey, Chooks, look at
Leave Claire alone. Everything is clear about Claire. Let's go, guys.
Thank you. Let's go. So, Daily Trust, we have apparently just Daily Trust this morning with us. So, Demola will share the stories.
Just go ahead.
Yes, okay. So, let me just take the stories just a bit below the nameplate. Sports, Nigeria-Libya saga. CAF made the side case today. And the sad notes there on page 5, 19 die in Plateau auto crash. And then Tinubu is speaking to Nigerians again, and he says, buy petrol at 1,000 naira per litre or CNG at 200 naira per meter.
Anyway, we'll talk about that. Millers, barbers, tailors deploy massive blackout in the north. Power outage, grounds business activities. Minister raises committee to investigate grid collapse. Declares state of emergency in electricity sector. The major headline. Details can be found on page 4. IMF downgrades Nigeria's growth prospect to 2.9%. Details on page 9. Mother, sons shot as hoodlums attack FCDA director's apartment. Details of the story can be found on page 21. And we have the new chapter begins, says Farouk Lawan, after leaving Kuje prison. So we have that details on page 37. Court holds Kano LG polls, dissolves Electoral Commission, page 12. Okay. Well, Chooks.
Yes, Demola. The president is saying that you have the option of buying petrol at 1,000 per litre, or you do 200 naira per cubic meter. Of CNG. Fine. We already are coping. It doesn't seem as if we're going to expect any price reduction. When the Labour people and the government met about 1 week ago, and they came out with the news that they have found ways of crashing food and transportation prices, costs, I said, oh, that seals it. Nobody is expecting NLC to agitate and maybe get government to do some little, and
reduction.
take it down a bit. Maybe it's time for us to let sleeping dogs lie, come to think of it. But we want the NNPCL to categorically come out and tell us we have completely deregulated so that the hide and seek, the ambush stops. Editors in Nigeria should take these up and make them talking points. The people must know where we are at any point in time. Don't leave it to the vagaries of free association or whatever one could call it. Have we now completely deregulated? If that is the case, Nigerians, let's gird our loins and see how we can weather the storm ahead till things get better. Because I still happen to be one of those who believe that the federal government is taking the right decisions. The only thing I quarreled with initially was, why would you float the foreign exchange at the same time as you remove subsidy from petrol? The twin effect of it would rather be crushing. I'm not an economist, so I'm pussyfooted when I talk about these things. But a journalist tries to know a little of them, everything.
Some time ago, I think we had, someone from the gas,
Yes,
Nigerian.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
That's
He
what you're talking
here.
about.
Yes, and he did explain that some commercial vehicles, have been provided incentives to have their vehicles convert from petrol to gas free of charge. That's FUC. Which, of course, everyone commended. And, of course, those commercial vehicles were to have CNG,
written on them so
written
that
on
people
them.
will
People
be able
would
to
know.
know.
But there's a challenge that, people have observed and have brought to our notice, that despite that, those commercial vehicles still charge exorbitant prices. So how to ensure that this is replicated in terms of fares, commercial fares, is another issue.
I am not interested in leaving us to the mercies of religious, but maybe essentially ungodly people, which many of our people have become. You leave it to the, how did our Kingsley Osadolo call them in those days? The vampire market cartels. The food prices that we think should have come down by now because it's the harvest season and all that, you didn't see an essential drop. It's still hovering around there, Beans, one mudu of beans I priced 4 days ago was 3,300. I can assure you that when beans does come out in 2.5 months or 3, it's not going to fall below 2.8. So sometimes you're going to ask yourself, waiting, do us this thing. You understand?
Yes. I think we should go beyond that. We should stop wickeding, if there's anything like that, ourselves. Yes, we should stop that. But again,
Actually,
the regulator should,
the regulator one,
Yes.
then their argument actually is that, well, you tell us to bring down our prices. What about the other prices? They are still being affected.
Yes.
But just like you said, the regulator, just have to do their work.
You're talking about the bandwagon effect.
Yes, the
if
bandwagon.
I don't go up, I won't be able to buy Claire's,
That is
products
just
or
the
services
thing.
that
So-
have gone up.
so
No, but we're talking about CNG.
No,
It
not
becomes a
CNG.
big
commercial- no, we're
we're
talking about
he's
cycle.
talking about the food prices and
The
the
food
market.
prices.
Okay, no.
Yeah, no, he's talking about the food prices now. That's what I'm just trying to
Relating,
explain.
okay.
Yes.
So, but then is the CNG, just like you said, and I think we spoke to the man outside, and he
yes.
said probably that government would just have to enforce that. Maybe they have to have officials that will go in these buses to make sure that at least these drivers, they comply.
How many buses would you go on?
Do they have enough officials?
You
That is
don't,
just the question.
we don't have enough soldiers to fight insurgents and bandits. You think we wouldn't like to employ more? Boots on the ground cost money.
IMF
But the point
downgrades.
is, yes, and IMF is downgrading Nigeria to 2.9. I think it was 3.1 or 3.2. But 2.9 is
No,
not
3.2
bad.
actually.
3.2, yeah. 3.1 or 3.2. I'm aware of it. But the point really is that 2.9 is not bad. It is not. For an economy like Nigeria's, 3.5 would have been ideal. But when China was doing 6 point something, some 5 years ago now, I think it was Kissinger who said there will be a burst at one point. So sometimes it's not good for the economy to grow so fast. Those who know economics will tell you all that. But I think it's a good, rating. Britain is a 1.1. They didn't even think they were going to do as well as that. They have put it at 0.7 and all that. But the good thing is that IMF is also, putting in the stethoscope, or rather the telescope, even the big economies. So when you talk about IMF, people think that it is only we that they are hammering and all that. The economy that is galloping like the stallion is the US economy. And I think that the reflating or the reflation of the economy shortly after COVID was their saving grace. They are doing so well while the rest of the world is telling a sad story. I don't know economics. Let me keep quiet at this point. Quickly, okay, you have something to say there?
Yes.
Otherwise, I wanted to...
What I have to say is that it's time for you to go.
I think you are gradually taking this program to a close. Have I ever talked? I've not done 5 minutes. Anyway, it's time for me to go.
You've done 10 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's leave it to the economists.
All right. Thank you so much,
much.
Chooks. Thank you, Chooks.
Bless you.
Yeah, we have to, draw curtain on this segment now, and we'll take a break, after which Good Morning Nigeria continues. Stay with us.